but there's still some amount of operations that will be needed, I would think, over time. How does that get paid for? You have fees in a venture structure, and those fees trickle down to create a support staff. Somebody can pick up the phone. Somebody can do research on a tax issue or a legal issue. Like if one of your projects that you backed tried to screw you, how do you then know that they're trying to screw you, or the Lao or the Flamingo, and how do you take legal action, or who manages all that? In other words, how is it staffed?
Yeah. So each one of the DAOs has enlisted my company, Tribute Labs, as a service provider, and we fill in a lot of these gaps. So we've handled everything from the legal structuring to the maintenance of the DApp to community support. We kind of joke that we're like a mod on a subreddit or a whip in Congress, where we can help people focus their activities, or if a vote needs to be taken, we can prepare certain information to press that forward. And then we handle tax and compliance. So all those areas in between what you're describing, which is just the core decision making that we want the members to do and should be doing, we increasingly take care of that, and we take a 2% annual fee. There's some variation on that depending on the DAO, but that's generally what we're focused on. No carry, which I think is important because the members are making their own decisions, and we don't have any investment related authority. It's all up to the members. So we're really like the support. We joke that we're like our DAOs are a little bit like a reverse mullet, and we handle
the business,
all the business and operations. And
you guys have the party.
Yeah, so the folks in the front can have the party. Exactly.
So 2% of 70 million is 1.4 million. So every year that you run that, you get 1.4 million. What do you do for that 1.4 million? That seems like a big number.
Yeah, so we provide the legal structuring. So we have the structure for the Lao, Flamingo, Neptune, a digital fashion DAO called Red DAO. We also have a internet stable. We've taken our fake internet money to build a fake internet stable. And we also have a metaverse DAO. So there's about 9 DAOs right now that we
No, but I'm saying, what do you do for that 1.4 million? That seems like a big number to me. In venture, the 2% that you get as fees is for sourcing the deals, diligencing the deals, going on the boards and managing. Yeah. You don't do that function. So it's a big number. What does the DAO get for 1.4 million aside from the legal structure?
Sure. So they get the legal structuring. They also get the tooling. So we're able to pull together what we call a DApp. You could view it like an online portal where governance and other decision making can occur. We provide the community support, which does take a bit of work, just to keep people focused and push things along.
So those two things, let's double click on both of those. So in a way, you're like Amazon Web Services or Salesforce, like a SaaS provider of the management software where the rules are written, where the votes are taken. That is actually super valuable.
Exactly. And we've been building out advanced DAO tooling to make this all a lot more efficient. So right now, crypto is still early, right? We're probably past the first inning, but I don't think we've seen the full ball game yet. There's a lot of work that needs to be done on the DAO side to lower costs, to increase operation. But what we've seen across the 9 DAOs is the types of problems that we think that these online groups are going to face. And so since we see those problems, we can begin to solve them and then push that down into a coherent tech stack. So you can view what we're supporting as a broader network. Instead of being a network of blogs or a network of different media properties, it's really a network of these DAO-like structures or DAO structures that all have the same or similar legal structuring, same tech stack. It's completely vertically integrated.
So what you're learning in pipes. Flamingo might inform the Lao, might inform the next one. That makes total sense. And then double clicking on the community function, you host those bi-weekly calls. You inform members, send them email updates of what's going on. Do you prepare tax documents and statements for them around all this? Yeah, so in a way, you're like AngelList, Carta, or Assure, which provides LLC services for folks.
Right.
And software.
Exactly. So it's like that. And then there's areas in which our DAOs are expanding. So Flamingo DAO is a great example. It was really the first substantive vehicle to explore NFTs collecting. So it launched October of last year. As an example, it's like the number 3 holder of CryptoPunks. Got in well before this upswing. And that was incubated by members of the Lao. So through this hive mind, this collection of folks that we've assembled, they saw the NFT opportunities, I think, before most traditional venture capital funds and even, emerging crypto funds, and were able to get in earlier than that. But that's expanding beyond even kind of things like collecting or supporting projects. They're beginning to work with artists and doing drops in a more collaborative way. So there's additional technology and tooling that's needed for it. So lots of these different functions we're able to support as these organizations continue to grow. They're pretty organic in terms of their general nature.
Since you're doing them as a wrapped DAO, these wrapped DAOs, are they limited to accredited investors then here in the United States because of the accreditation laws?
So yeah, we have the answer as to whether they need to be is still an open question. So we've gone through kind of a bifurcated analysis. We're in the abundance of caution, a little bit like how I think Circle approaches things. We want to take the most conservative approach that we can.
Sounds wise.
We've limited it to accredited investors, and everybody goes through a KYC and compliance related check. And that's another reason why having a service like Tribute Labs is important, right? If there's a change in the regulatory landscape, if there's more requirements that need to be handled, we'll be able to handle that and kind of mutualize the cost across the entire network, which we think is important. So yes, 99 members for now, and then everybody is accredited, but people are stretched out across the globe, which I think is pretty interesting.
So you're following the LLC rules of 99 members or $10 million cap, with 250, I think, is the current LLC structures for investing in startups.
Well, there's a couple different exceptions. So we rely on kind of the 99 member instead of the 250 member $10 million.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that's a limitation. How about the open-endedness or the closed-endedness of this? So when you form the DAO, there's a period in which people can join, but the only way to join after that is to buy somebody else out. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's either to purchase the interest from somebody else or the members have the ability to dilute themselves. So what we've seen with the Lao and Flamingo, the members have decided to do that. And they've let in more folks. So in the Lao, there's 68 members. In Flamingo, there's about 70 members. And periodically, they let in new folks as part of that membership, usually at a higher price.
So they can command a higher price for them to join in. Which means they make a little profit on new members joining.
So they don't make a direct profit, but it kind of
increases their share.
The unit, the value of each unit in the DAO. So as an example, for Flamingo, initially to join, it was 60 Ether for 100,000 units. It looks like they're opening up new membership, and it's going to cost about 3,000 Ether for the same 100,000 units.
Got it. And that would be commensurate with two things: the exclusivity of it, which people can decide if they see value in, but also the portfolio, I would think, has appreciated over some amount of time because they're probably still holding some ETH and the NFTs might have gone up. It's time for another OurCrowd deal of the week. Right now, you can join OurCrowd's investment in Intellect. According to the deal memo, Intellect's transportation innovation could save the airline industry $3 billion a year. Intellect uses machine learning to improve safety, recognize hazards, and reduce delays. And they're already being used at some major international airports. And these airports serve over 100 million passengers annually, according to the deal memo. We all know that all over the world, tech companies are innovating and driving results for investors. Well, OurCrowd analyzes many of these companies across the entire global private market. Then they select companies with the greatest growth potential and bring them to you. From personalized medicine to cybersecurity to robotics to quantum computing and more. In state-of-the-art labs, startup garages, and anywhere in between, OurCrowd identifies innovators so you can invest when the growth potential is greatest. And that's early. So here's your call to action. If you're an accredited investor, you can join OurCrowd for free at OurCrowd.com/twist and review the current deals. There is no payment involved until you decide to invest. That's OurCrowd.com/twist to sign up for free.